So the tech video that I wanted to bring in was on how to help young professionals who are getting into the software industry, right? So as a young professional, when you come in, you should understand one thing. Whatever you have learned in your college, they are all good basics, right? But when you get into an organization, the way a professional side works or a professional software development works is very different from what you have learned in college. Because the college, it's academic, right? When you are getting into a company where they are developing software, there are lots of things that we have to look at. A lot of times we do this permutation and combination, which are very different from what you have learned in your college. And the other main issue is the technology is evolving so fast. What you learn in college becomes outdated very fast. So it's not like, for example, hotel management industry where the concepts remain static, right? Or let's say sales. No, sales is not a good example. A mechanical, right? Where you're automotive mechanic. Even in there, if you look at it, every 2 years, 3 years, technology changes. Previously it was petrol driven, now it is battery driven and all that stuff, right? Same, if you look at our thing, you guys are actually going through 4 years of your engineering, right? 4 years back, technology wise, Angular, for example, was on 9, now it is on 18, right? So when you're coming out, technology has already evolved. 4 years back, people who have been in joined the IT engineering courses, AI was not there. Now AI is there, right? In a big way, inbuilt into everything. So when you get in, first 6 months to 1 year, consider that you have learned how to write, but you don't know how to make sentences in a perfect analogy, right? So that's how you have to come with a mindset when you go into an organization. The other thing, people normally get into an organization and they tend to jump from one company to another company very quickly. The reason, obviously, the other company will also try to pull you because they need manpower. They don't need resources or they don't need people. They need manpower. So you have to evaluate whether the current organization is good and you are able to learn. If you are able to learn, it is okay for getting less paid, probably go on for 2-3 years. Money will be made later, right? On your skills. A lot of kids, what I have seen is they are also scared to talk to, right? Couple of reasons. They are probably worried that they will lose a job. The other thing is probably the person whom you are reporting into is rude. In those scenarios, look for another job. Don't get married to that job and then stay there, because if your mentor is not good, you won't be able to learn, because he's the one who's so the mentor, the project managers and the seniors in your organization are like in your family, people who are elder to you, who are guiding you, right? If they guide you wrong, you go wrong, right? So same way in an organization, these people are your guiding forces, initial stages, right? If you don't know anything, you have to say you don't know anything. And keep upskilling. Keep upskilling. don't be afraid, right? That is one thing that I would say. The other major thing that I have seen is communication. Now it's a given that in the IT industry people do talk in English. That is what it is, because you can't change it, right? If you look at, and most of the clients, they will be either from European countries or from US, or might be some from the Australian side and all, which are all English speaking countries, right? So you have to make your communication absolutely crystal over a period of time. Difficult, because most of the Indians, north, south, wherever, we tend to talk in our native languages when we are in our childhood, and our vocabulary doesn't get better, right? And that is why the confidence doesn't come. So as a practice, what you could do is, when you get into the office and all, you should be talking only in English. That is one option. Try coming. At home you can talk in whatever language you want to, but in office try to be talking in English. That way you refine your skill set over a period of time. Right? Also, don't get married to a particular technology. I'll make a separate video on that. It is basically how to upskill yourself over a period of time. But primarily, do not try to be sticking to a factor saying that I want to be a full stack developer, I want to be an Angular developer, I want to be a Python developer. Try to be domain experts. That's one side of looking. The other ways you have to be looking at domain experts might not be easy, because you get into a startup, that startup might be doing something, you might be wanting to do that only, right? But look at it from an angle where you are either becoming a solution provider. It's a very thin line, right? You give me a problem, I'll give you a solution. It could be made in Angular, it could be made in Node, it could be made in React, it could be made in Java, whatever it is. I'll give you a solution. That's how you should look at it. Yeah, and first 4-5 years, keep learning. That's what it is all about. Learn, right? I mean, that is what you should look at it, right? I will give an example of my son. He's not an IT guy. He's in hotel management. He was working with Sheraton, Hong Kong, for his internship. He had gone there. It's paid internship. He has come back to India. Reason? He's now working with a hotel in India, a hotel chain, the Park, right? He's working there. And parallelly, he's doing his MBA. Reason? He wants to hone himself or make it, upskill himself into marketing also, because he thinks that within the hotel industry, there are multiple channels, right? I mean, like in the hotel industry, you have got the catering industry, you have got the front office, and then there is a marketing. Same way, you need not be always a software developer. Over a period of time, you can become a software UX developer, UX designer, backend developer, but this is all the same skill set, right? People blindly say, I want to become a full stack developer. Right? I was taking an interview recently and they were like, I want to become a full stack developer. Why? And a full stack developer for what? Node.js and React. But tomorrow, if let's say instead of Node, code comes in, and in the front, instead of React, let's say React comes in, right? So what would you do? you would lose your skill set, right? Because you have only learned that particular language or that particular framework. Be a solution provider. Cloud is an important thing, important factor. So use cloud as your cloud for everything. Learn AWS, learn Azure. These are good things. Okay, thank you.